been doing this for a very long time. I actually started as a child, making my own paper dolls and fiddling around with clay once I found that. By the time I was a young bride, I found the precursor to Sculpey. I can't remember now what it was called. It was terrible stuff. You baked it in your oven, and the minute I would put paint on it, it would turn sticky. So that was Thomas branded that my sticky doll period. But even with how terrible those dolls were, he managed to find a little doll shop or a little toy shop that bought a few of them. So I was kind of off and running. And it took a while, but by the 1990s, I decided I'd gone through porcelain. I did mostly porcelain up until then, and then I decided I wanted to try vinyl. So I, had a few contacts. I got as much information about it as I could, and I just
and
jumped
the
in
rest
with
is
both
history.
feet.
Yeah,
That's right.
You and Thomas have been making your dolls for how long now?
Well, we formed Kish & Company in 1990.
Yeah.
But, before that, it was Helen Kish Designs, and I was pretty much on my own. Thomas was always the support behind me, of course, through all of this, because clearly it takes a long time to get established and to become known and to actually make a living at it. So when we finally got to that point, he was able to quit his job and come in with me full time.
That's wonderful. So speaking of being established, are you from Colorado?
I am. I'm a native
of
Denver.
Of Denver, and you live in Colorado Springs?
No, I live in Littleton now.
Oh, you live in Littleton
Yes.
now? Did you used to be?
Never in Colorado Springs. No.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that, but I have been to several of your conventions downtown,
right.
Which have been just a blast.
Yeah,
and they were really fun. So we'd love to bring our viewers in to see some of your current collection that you have. So please just let us dive right in and tell us about it.
Well, the only thing that I've got that's really new in the collection this year are these two little BJDs, 10-inch BJDs. Zoe on the left, mulberry plaid, and Paige silver lace. They have, I think, 15 points of articulation. And
wow.
They are painted eyes, and I do hand paint all of their eyes. So that makes them a little different than the Korean ball jointed dolls, which have the glass eyes. Some of these other things on here are older dolls that we brought, and some are one-of-a-kinds. Like this is actually Zoe as a one-of-a-kind fairy.
What is the process that goes into making a sculpt for one of these?
Okay, well I'll talk to you about this guy here because he's my
Very
most
detailed.
recent thing. He is a resin ball jointed piece also, and he started out with monster clay. I ordered a new clay called Monster Clay, and when it arrived I sat down and started doodling with it, came up with a head. And the head turned into a bust, and then I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this out as a full sculpt. And so after I do all the models and separate them and put the ball joints on them and all of that, then I turn it over to Thomas, who makes rubber molds over that, and we just went directly from the clay into the resin for this piece because I didn't want to lose any of the texture.
Wow.
Normally we go from clay to molds to wax models, which I then polish and finish, and then another set of molds before we go into production with anything.
So it's quite a process.
It's quite a process.
Yes. And what do we have on the horizon? So I know we have Farewell to Riley, which is, I'm sure, just such a bittersweet transition for you. Let's look at Riley over here. So,
yes, well, we
we heard you say it was just time.
It was just time to
Here we have some Rileys right
retire
here for our
her.
audience.
Yes, these are all, of course, older. The souvenir for the conference tonight is our last Riley production.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of special.
That's really special. Very, very, very special.
So this one here is DJ. This is a boy. This is skateboarder Riley. And I don't remember the names of all of them, to be honest with you.
How many
Winter
Rileys have there been over the years?
Oh, I haven't counted. counted, but there've been an awful
A lot. That's wonderful.
awful
Yeah.
lot of them.
So if you're just tuning in, we are here live with Helen Kish at the Western Treasures UFDC Region 6 convention. I keep saying convention, but it's more of a regional show and convention, smaller convention. But it's wonderful. She is the souvenir artist. And how many people do we have? 250, right? It's about 250, I think. But everyone is very excited, and we're going to see your souvenir in just a matter of hours. So, how long? Let's look back up here. How long did it take you to make the souvenir for this event, from the first phone call till when you could uncork the bottle and say we're done?
Okay, well, since I already had the models, that's the most time-consuming part. I really just had to design the face paint and decide which wig to use, and then design the costume. So I never keep track of these things. I think it was probably about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah.
So as a seasoned doll artist, you've been doing this a long time. You have a lot of respect in the community. You've paid your dues. What is one of the things that you wish that you would have known when you were young and just starting out, that you could have told your former self?
Other people that did that, because when I started, and I was, like I say, in my 20s, so it's a long time ago, I didn't know anybody else did this.
Right.
I thought dolls came out of shops,
right?
You know, and I didn't know anybody actually created those things or where they came from. So I did I had some very cursory paragraphs out of books to show me how to make molds, for example, and I did that, and I was terrible at it.
Yeah, you had to figure it out.
I had to figure it out on my own. So the best thing that ever happened to me was a couple of years into it, I started to meet other people doll artists who made dolls. I met Martha Armstrong Hand.
Wow. What an honor.
Yes, it was, and she became a dear friend.
Oh, really?
And I learned so much from her.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just wish I could have known her earlier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For those who might not know who Martha Armstrong Hand, she did the 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea sculpts. She did the Seven Dwarfs? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for R. John Wright.
R. John Wright. Mm-hmm.
Her body of work is
amazing.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what a thrill.
Yes.
That's incredible. So what do we have to look forward to for Helen Kish coming up?
Well, I guess I can announce this because they announced it at National Convention in Washington, D.C. We're going to be doing the souvenir for National next year.
Oh,
in
wow.
Orlando.
Oh, how incredible.
And,
well, that'll keep you very busy.
Yes, it has so far. Actually, everything's ready now.
Oh,
I've already
great.
done all the work. It's a brand new sculpt.
Oh, amazing.
And a brand new companion to go with the sculpt, and so it's very exciting.
Well, congratulations. Now, you have to come over and make a cameo real quick, because the backbone... I know everyone's going to want to say hello to, and you were chewing, so I'm sorry, but we are here live with the Kishes, and what an honor it is. So we will be showing your souvenir doll this evening in just a couple hours at the Western Treasures show. And I'm sorry, you were chewing, so that's totally my fault, but I wanted you to say hello, so thank you. Yes.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello and goodbye, yes. And hello and goodbye to everybody else, and thank you so much for talking with us, Helen, today.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.